morning. Welcome to our Friday wrap-up. Good morning, Tiffany.
Hi, Sharon.
Hi. You guys, we are here at in Newport at the National Weather Service, and this morning we have got Erik Heden here to talk about hurricanes for 2022's hurricane season.
Thank you so much for having us.
Yes, thank you for joining us.
So Erik has been with us here in Carteret County for about 6 years, and he's going to give us some information that's pertinent to our area, and we'll just let him talk to you about all that.
So we're into the end of July. So far, so good. Haven't had any crazy storms in our area, but just want to remind folks it's a long season. Hurricane season officially starts June 1st, but we've had storms as early as May, and with Matthew and Sandy, we've had them well into the month of October. So the peak of the season is not even here. It's usually about the 10th of September, so we still have a long way to go, and we want to kind of discuss some things that people can do as far as getting ready for hurricane season and things to focus on and things that you should not focus on.
And I think that's a good idea because, Erik, sometimes people, talk about categories and things like that, and oh, well, it's a one. I think it's really important that people hear what you've got to say and what's important about that.
I'm so glad you brought that up. That's probably the biggest misnomer, and what we're talking about is the category of the storm. Category 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Folks that have lived here for a long time will often say, I'm not going to leave unless it's a 2. I'm not going to leave unless it's a 3. That category scale is only dependent on wind. It says nothing about how much rain you're going to have.
Right.
It says nothing that's going to sit over us for 4 days like with Hurricane Florence. So we really want people to pay attention to all of the impacts of a storm. Things like how much rain, how much wind we're going to have. Will it have tornadoes, rip currents ahead of the storm itself? So don't just focus on the category. Do not just make your decision on whether to stay or go based on that. It's only part of the puzzle. It's not the whole puzzle.
Well, that's good information. Talk to us a little bit about supplies, what people, when a hurricane's on the way here, what are some things they can be getting together that is helpful during a hurricane?
Sure, and this is something we have control over. A lot of times we talk about hurricanes, people get nervous, and we can't stop the storms, can't keep them away, but what you do have control on is time and your hurricane kit. So at least 3 days worth of supplies. What are we talking about? Food, water, medicine, that you can be on your own for at least 3 days. Mm-hmm. Trying to push people to at least a week. We saw with Florence and some of our communities, it took a while to get back to normal. So minimum 3 days, at least a week would be even better. Don't forget about the elderly, folks that live with you. Don't forget about your pets. And I know with our economic times, you might see this and say, Erik, I can't go out this weekend and get everything. That's okay. You get it a little bit at a time. You go this weekend with your grocery list, you add some canned goods. Next weekend with your grocery list, you add your water. So little bit by little bit, and you can get through it.
Good idea.
Erik, any thoughts on evacuation routes for our county and shelters, and how do those things get set up?
Sure. There's a lot of good information at the county level or on our website. So if you go to weather.gov/Morehead City, again, weather.gov/Morehead City, and just add hurricane prep to the end of that, there's a lot of good information on that website. And what I'm talking about is there's a campaign in North Carolina called Know Your Zone. So we have specific zones in Carteret County and surrounding areas. That's how you'll be evacuated from the county itself. And on that information is also sheltering options, not just in our county, but other counties if you have to head inland. Mm-hmm. And we always tell folks, talk about how vulnerable you are. Are you in a low-lying area? Are you in a flood area? Knowing those things, that will help make your decision easier on whether to go or not when the storm gets here. You want to talk about it today, when we don't have the storm on the horizon. So when the storm gets here, you've got your kit ready, you know where you're going to go, how you're going to go, and then all you have to do is enact that plan when it happens.
Awesome. Is there anything else you feel like, a question we've not asked, that would be good information for the public to know about?
I think we've covered a lot of it. The main things we're trying to drive home, not to focus just on the category, is to be respected. It's only part of it. One thing we didn't mention yet is the power of water. Wind gets a lot of attention. It's in the category scale, but statistically, less than 10% of deaths in hurricanes are from wind. At least 90%, around 90% traditionally, are water related. Wow. That could be flooding, that could be rip currents, it could be storm surge. So water is very, very powerful. Never cross flooded roads. With the lives we lost in Florence in North Carolina, the majority of those were in vehicles. So do not cross flooded roads. You don't know how powerful the water is. You don't know how deep it is.
Right.
So in addition to not just focusing on the category, please respect the power of water. Very, very important for your life.
And just wanted to let you know that Erik has given us some brochures, Hurricane Guide and on current safety. Bradbury Garner will have these at the Keller Williams office available if you'd like to stop by and get some information.
And Erik, thanks for joining us today.
Thank you for having
Tiffany,
us.
Thanks, y'all. Erik, nice to meet you.
Thank
have
you.
a great weekend.
Bye.
Thanks.
Stay safe.